everything is all right. All right, AOA Podcast Wednesday episode. Nice to be here with you. We've got a whole slew of lovely topics to discuss on the day today. Prince Andrew maintains the number one spot, our headliner, if you will. No longer Prince Andrew, doesn't have a royal title. I thought about this. We're going to talk about Prince Andrew, who's no longer a royal, yet Paul McCartney is still a sir. Figure that one out. Tom Brady is cloning his dog. You'll be shocked at what Paul McCartney did to take revenge on a music critic. And then we'll address this JD Vance, Erica Kirk rumor mill that continues to swirl around and not go away. Plus, we've got some other assorted topics and such. My friends, we are gathered together. We have topics, we have jokes, we have information, we have an intro. That's a podcast. We are testing out live on TikTok, actually, which looks terrible. So if you want to see another bizarre, weird, poorly lit angle of your old pal Ant, go over to our TikTok, which you could link to from anthonyonair.com and go check that out for a second and then come back to this regular nice view, which I feel like is where it should be. The TikTok view, trying something else weird here, and I don't like it. I think it might be the last time we ever do it. So that's our TikTok, which you can get to at anthonyonair.com. Like I said, we're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 8:45, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pleasure for you guys to join us. Let's jump right into what we're talking about with Prince Andrew today. So, all right, we've been pontificating about Andrew. We've been discussing the fact that it looks like he's on his way out. It looks like he's getting ready for, I think, the swell here is a police investigation of some sort, which is why King Charles and the royal family has chosen now to move him out of the residence, to take his titles away, to do all of those things that has been happening from him. So that's why we've been talking about it. It's culminating today in the fact that he is on his way out of his home. But what's driving people in England crazy right now is they just discovered, it was just released that, because they said he was paying rent to live there, because that's like, as soon as all this Virginia Giuffre, Jeffrey Epstein stuff came out, people are like, well, you know, we're not supporting this type of a person. He's got to go. And everybody was like, well, he's paying rent and all that jazz. So, okay, everybody felt like whatever. We go to find out today that the rent was a peppercorn. A peppercorn. Not $1, not $1,000, not any monetary value, a peppercorn. Wendy Peppercorn, for my Sandlot fans out there. A peppercorn. He has been living rent-free. Supposedly, there was some rule or law written in England that, like back when a peppercorn was worth something, there was a rule that they had to pay a peppercorn. So he has been paying a peppercorn. A peppercorn. So England, fine citizens, you have literally been supporting this pedo this entire time. Now, he's getting kicked out before the end of his lease at the big 30-room mansion that he's staying in. If he leaves early, there's a deal, there's a thing in the lease that he is to get somewhere around $700,000. He's expecting the $700,000. The king and the royal family literally have to put a stop to that payment. Otherwise, he would get it. I mean, talk about bad looks. You can't be having the worst pedo in the history of your country, known at least, walking away from his 30-room mansion that he paid a peppercorn a year for, getting a $700,000 payoff. The royal family should be ended, period, over this entire thing if that is allowed to happen. That cannot happen. This guy should be living in a studio apartment somewhere in the Bronx, Chicago, or Los Angeles. We want to pick our worst areas in those cities. I'm sorry, Bronx. That felt a little insensitive. Somebody from the Bronx watching right now going, what did I do to you? And you're right. I should have picked Staten Island because we all know that is literally the worst part of the city of New York. Yeah, that is literally what we're dealing with, though. I mean, he's going from a third. And by the way, the new place that he's going to ain't much worse. I think it's like 22 rooms or something crazy like that. Ironically enough, Sarah Ferguson, who has been living in that same Royal Lodge at Windsor Great Park, she's not going with him to the new place. She's going her separate way. Now, they haven't been together for the longest time, but it's interesting that she's piecing out right here while he is going off to live in just some other Sandringham estate, whatever that is, and that's funded by the king. I don't know why the people of England aren't lighting pitchforks and walking around Buckingham Palace, because you're literally continuing to support this pedo. Like they can't be happy about any of this. I mean, I know here in the States, nobody is happy that Ghislaine Maxwell got a sweetheart deal from the Trump administration and went to a lesser security facility in Texas that doesn't have a gate or a lock or any sort of other thing that represents a prison of any kind. She's in a day camp. She's basically in a day camp. And she was in a low security prison to begin with down in Florida. So I don't even know how she got an even sweeter heart deal out of that, but she did. And now the people of England have to go and find out this guy's been living there in this house off of peppercorn a year, and he's got a $700,000 settlement coming his way. He cannot get that money. But and you'll be like, of course they're not going to let him get. No. It is a process for them to stop that money from going to him. It's already absurd that he was living there, and now there's a payment coming. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous now. This is absolutely and utterly ridiculous. And listen, if it's all temporary, if the royal family knows the police are coming, if they know it, then fine. Then I'm less upset because he's getting his comeuppance. He's getting what he deserves. Look at all the TikTok people here. Share that to your other. Hey, share this in the TikTok-y thing. Sorry for the bad angle. Better angle on YouTube, just in case you guys wanted to know. I'm fine with it. I could deal with it not getting the money, but I can deal with him living in his brother's house for a little while they wait for the police over there to scoop him up. But the police better be coming. Because, again, from the email that leaked earlier, which we talked about at a previous podcast, go check out our YouTube channel, which has a big playlist of all the Jeffrey Epstein, Prince Andrew, Ghislaine Maxwell information. There's over hundreds of videos. You can get there at anthonyonair.com. With that email that we just discovered, and with this rash of new information that came out of Virginia Giuffre's book, it should be enough to investigate Prince Andrew further. Because here's the weird thing that people may not be thinking about. If Andrew did this with Virginia Giuffre, allegedly, and Jeffrey Epstein, you think he wasn't doing it outside of them? Do you think he was a perfect choir boy when Jeffrey Epstein wasn't around, trafficking girls to him? Do you think he was just being an okay dude? Because the story that we got from the biographer the other day was he had a 40 escort run in 4 days at a hotel somewhere in Thailand or wherever it was. So where there's smoke, there is fire. There should be much more investigation regarding Prince Andrew and his behavior and activities over the last 20, 30 years. Because if I had to guess, the Epstein stuff was just the tip of the iceberg. There has to be more there. There is no way He went off and just was a great human being. And then when Jeffrey Epstein came around, he went off. There's just no way. There's no way. Look at the live chat going crazy. I hate missing. Sometimes I go on a crazy rant and I realize I haven't looked at the live chat in a while. Paul wants to know, where's Fergie? Why isn't she in jail? She's with him. She's with him in the place that they're living right now. She's with him at Windsor Gray Park. The former Prince Andrew Monteblock, whatever his new awful name, terrible name, bad name, bad name. And he's going to go to Sandringham Estate, which is funded by the king himself. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just can't, again, that payment cannot go through. Can't go through. Tom Brady's cloning dogs. I don't know what's happening. I just never been comfortable with the cloning thing. Not really loving it. Ironically, weirdly, and in true Tom Brady fashion, he cloned his dog because he's an investor in the dog cloning company. Like, these people with just endless amounts of money, they're invested in it. Used to be, you were an athlete, you maybe got a restaurant. You were like, let me invest in a restaurant or a bar or something like that. Now they're like, I don't know, just put a couple mil in a cloning operation. Like, how much money do you have, Tom Brady? How much money do you have? His current dog, Junie, is a genetic clone of his late dog, Lua. I think it's Lua, Lua. How would you pronounce that? Lua or Lau or Lua. I don't know. I feel like I should be saying Luau, but that doesn't sound right. This original dog died in December of 2023. The cloning was done by Colossal Biosciences, which he is an investor. What a name for a cloning company. What should we call our cloning company? Colossal Biosciences. Like, you have to kind of say it like that. Like, we're not just doing little biosciences here. This is where we do the colossal biosciences. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's my voiceover background, but it's just like if I picked up a piece of paper and I was like, I couldn't just say colossal biosciences. You'd have to be like colossal biosciences. A lot of echo, a lot of explosions and laser sounds. Again, maybe it's just my radio background here, but that's how I would do that. So I feel like for the rest of this topic, I have to say colossal biosciences, which I guess they recently acquired. Viagan Pets and Equine. I don't know if that means they're going to start cloning horses now. Is that what? And this is what? Okay, see, this is where. Okay, because I have a teensy gambling problem, and it's not my fault. I was raised at Monmouth Racetrack. Which is sadly it's true. I was like my cousin sent a picture of his daughter. It's so cute, and she was like playing bingo, and I go, "Oh, our grandmother had a bingo bag," and I said, "I bet your mom didn't throw away the bingo. I bet you it's still in our family. This is in my family. I could show you right now." My mom chimes in and goes, "No, I have grandma's bingo bag and I've already put it in my will who gets the bingo bag." And I literally thought to myself, I turned out really well coming from this family of absolute sickos. Who puts a bingo bag in a last will and testament? Anyway, it was a big deal to my grandmother, thus a big deal to my mom and my aunt now. So, my other uncle, my cousin's wife, my wife, they're like the newbies, they're the ones who married into this family. And I literally, like, the conversation turned from your daughter's so cute, we should get her a thing, to, let's get her into bingo because, we grew up with a gambling problem being raised at Monmouth Racetrack, which we were. And why not get her started on the same little deal? And that's the truth. We literally, our entire My childhood was, if I wasn't at Monmouth Racetrack, I was at TJ Maxx. That was it. It was I was either at Lane Bryant, TJ Maxx, or Monmouth Racetrack. Maybe when it was a nice day and we had exhausted all the sales and gambling and had no more money to do either, we went to the beach. That was when the beach days happened. When mom and dad were tapped, we went to the beach. When we had a little scratch in our pockets, we tried to run it up at the old ponies and then go to Lane Bryant and really cash in, or TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx was it. We were Maxinistas long before it was cool to be Maxinistas. So anyway, my point is the equine deal, the horse deal, are we going to clone horses now? Because the whole thing with horse racing is lineage and birth, and can you get the sire, can you, this is the, the pedigree information on the horse. And what if you could just all right, well, we'll just clone the greatest horses of all time? That's not fair. How is that a thing? We were about to just see AI go way out of control and possibly end our society altogether. I don't know if we want to, kick up the old cloning conversation again. But Tom Brady is not even the first celebrity to do this. There have been many other celebrities who have cloned their dogs in the past, or pets. Paris Hilton cloned her pet. I think Barbara Streisand cloned a dog. This is out of control. I didn't even know this was a problem, a thing. Again, listen, I like living in a capitalist society, but some people shouldn't have money. Some people, they just don't know what to do with money. They're out there cloning animals, or worse, buying products from Meghan Markle. Got her. Hi-oh. Can't let an episode go without sticking it to Meghan Markle. Oh, I had a Meghan Markle fan get on me today. They were like, Meghan Markle got cast in a movie. Jerk. What do you think about that? They didn't say jerk. It was worser words. And I'm like, great. That's what she should be doing. Good. She's the pompous jerk that you would want. That's an actor. That's fine. That's where she belongs. And then I go to find out she's playing it's a cameo in some Amazon movie. I've had cameos in movies. Who cares? It's a cameo. It's not like she got a part or had to audition, or somebody's like, I wrote this for you, Meghan Markle. The poor Meghan Markle. You can't be a Meghan Markle fan around me. You can't do it. She's got a cameo because somebody's trying to cash in on her, 4.2 million Instagram. I get it. Hollywood is literally dying. They will do whatever it takes to stay relevant, including putting Meghan Markle in something, which I don't fault her for. Let her act. Let her be. She's an actress. Good for her. Let her act. I just want her to stop ripping people off with her overpriced BS products. That's where my problem with her lies. She wants to ruin a movie. Go ahead. I have no problem with that. This person, though, was like, see, jerk, she got a part in a movie. It's a cameo. Settle down, guy. Settle down. All right, hold on. Whenever somebody points at something in the live chat, I get nervous, like I missed something big. I like this. Wait. I don't know if we're pointing to Christella. Yes, Robin, that is the problem. We used to tax the wealthy a lot. No, I don't think that was. Oh, maybe that was it. But I like this from Faith O'Brien. Can I make a suggestion? Can we clone Cher, please? It's the one time I'm going to say this is a good idea. So it's the one instance where I'm saying, yeah, we should probably Cher. Who would you want to clone? Cher? Dolly Parton. I think we should clone Dolly. Dolly has been a godsend. No, I mean, Dolly Parton. She seems clone worthy. She's sponge worthy. Dolly Parton. Who is sponge worthy and who is clone worthy is what we need to. Yeah. See, Robin's on it right away. Dolly Parton. Yeah, 100%. Cher for sure. We can't just go crazy. I mean, we got to cap this clone list at I don't know, 7, 5 maybe. Should we clone Seinfeld? I would like to laugh a lot. Larry David, who do you clone? Larry David is, I can't do both. It's the same. It's almost the same thing. You can't do both. This is a good point from Bird. I hope we saved Robin Williams' DNA. I fucking miss Robin Williams. I so miss Robin Williams wholeheartedly. Yeah, I do. I miss her. Cher can already turn back time, and she just did on Sunday. It's a good point. That is a good point. I was meeting a friend today, and he showed up an hour early. He's like, "You're not ready?" And I go, "You're an hour early." He goes, "No, I'm not." I go, "Yeah, you are." He looks at his wristwatch. He goes, it was a really great moment because I was like, "Oh, it's entirely possible I'm late. I'm late to everything." And this is the one time it turned out it wasn't me. I wasn't the problem. All right. Cher seems like unanimous. Dolly Parton, nobody's objected to. Cloning Tommy Lee. This feels very selfish. I feel like only particular people are going to enjoy Tommy Lee. And that's people that want Tommy's Lee and Motley Crue fans. That's really where it ends. I could give or take Tommy Lee, but I mean, I'm not the end all be all. I'll let you guys have Tommy Lee if that's what you want. Demi Moore? No, we could do better. No, come on. We need the cream of the crop here, people. Paul McCartney. Oh, but going back to what Bird said about Robin Williams' DNA, and this is what weirds me out about AI now, too. Because it's like we had this old school question of if we could, if we can get, let's say we have Robin Williams' DNA, should we clone him? Should we make another Robin Williams? And now with AI, I mean, it might sound weird, but they have all these AI robots. We have AI at a point where you can literally talk into an AI machine for like 10 minutes, and then it'll have all of your speech patterns and your voice and your facial expressions and everything down to a T, so they could literally recreate you in anything it wants. We've already seen the robot maids that are out there. We talked about that last couple of podcast episodes. What's to stop people from just totally taking every single Robin Williams performance, interview, stand-up comedy, loading it in the old AI machine, putting it in one of these robots, and allowing AI Robin Williams to just go around and be AI Robin Williams? I mean, it's so like, if you love Robin Williams the way most of his fans did, how could you not want 5 more minutes of new Robin Williams? Do you remember that thing a couple of years ago that they ran through AI all of George Carlin's material? And I think it was a comedian who did this. And they were like, "Can you write a new George Carlin special?" And it did. And it wasn't that bad. Like, people were listening to it going, this is exactly what George Carlin would have probably been saying or been writing about. We are never doing this TikTok live thing again. This camera is way too close. I feel like I am just seeing a lot more grays everywhere. There's a lot more detail than on YouTube and Facebook. It is very embarrassing. I just don't think we're going to do this ever again on TikTok. I like keeping it on Spotify and Facebook and YouTube. Like, that's bad enough. But do you bring back these people? I don't know. I mean, even more weirding out than that is non-famous people. Like, who doesn't miss grandma? Do you bring back your grandma? Do you bring back grandma? TikTok is telling me to wave at people. I just waved at somebody. I don't get this whole TikTok thing. I don't get the people that get flowers and weird stuff on TikTok. Thanks for the flower. I don't get it. I don't know if we're going to do the TikTok thing again. It's weirding me out. I'm just going to complain about the TikTok thing. Jurassic Hooks is good. Let's nominate that for. We haven't been paying attention to comment of the episode. Seriously though, would you bring back your grandma? Is that weird? I mean, it's the same thing like the dog. The dog died. Death is a part of it, right? When you get a dog, it's such a wonderful moment. You have such amazing times with them. You walk together, you play and fetch, you're cuddling on the couch, they're eating food, you feed, everything is so great. You form a bond. You snuggle on the couch together. You go to it's bedtime. They go in their little doggy beds. The whole thing is wonderful, but they're gonna die. It's part of it. I don't know why. Like, why do we put ourselves through this? There is the thought of like, why should I get a dog? Because it's just gonna die and just leave me heartbroken. But you do it anyway because it's worth it. It's worth the journey. And I don't know why, for some philosophical, reasons that we can debate till the end of time, we go through these things knowing full well what the end result is going to be. And you have to think to yourself, well, the end result must be important because we know it's going to end horrifically and we still do it. Maybe that's the lesson. Maybe that's the thing to keep in mind. But if there's no death, if you could just clone a new dog, is it really the same? Like Tom Brady, obviously, I'm sure, again, he's an investor of the company, so we're not going to get an honest opinion on it. He's an investor. But is that comforting? Like if we had AI Robin Williams, I'm sure we'd like it. But after a while, would we be like, this was a mistake. We shouldn't have done this. What if AI Robin Williams says something bad and he gets canceled? And now we suddenly, we're like, oh, we always loved Robin Williams. But then AI Robin Williams took it too far. Oh my God. See, Faith is going to make me cry. Can we bring my grandma back, please? Lost her a year ago, a couple of days back. I would swap bringing everyone back if I could just have her back. Oh, I know grandmas are great. Grandmas are really special. I look at my mother now and I'm like, you're such a great grandma. And she's like, thanks. That means the world to me. And I say, why weren't you as good of a mom though? What happened? Where did this is like a switch go off or something? My mom was telling me, she goes, I know you don't want me to buy the kids the stuff, but I have to I just want to give them everything. And I go, it's touching. Where was this 30 years ago? What happened? I feel like I was fighting and clawing for dinner on a daily basis. What happened? I go, you remember we used to go to Monmouth Racetrack 4 out of 5 days in the week. But where's the desire to take the kids to the racetrack? Where did that go? How'd that fade away? Anyway, let's stop picking on my mom. Oh, I'm sorry. Bird goes, are you in need of depression? Is life just not sucky enough? Tune into the AOA to crush your any spirit you have left. You want to get a dog? It's going to die one day. Unless, of course, you have colossal biosciences. No, but it's true. Cuddles and I were talking about, it's been a while since we lost Rocco. And then the worst thing ever that happened to us, my best friend in the whole wide world got a Rocco clone and rubs it in my face every chance he gets. Frank. And, it's like, is it time again? Do we put our, kids through it? And it's interesting. I was telling you, I went to my friend's grandmother passed away, a funeral the other day. And her kids were there and they were taking it so well, and it's like, there is something about the dog dying and grandma and grandpa dying that prepares you for your eventual huge losses, like your mom and dad or your significant other, or God forbid, knock on wood, a child or something like that. You know what I mean? It's hard to understand or get or even know, but you look at the way life is built and you go, this has got to be for a reason. It sucks to lose grandma when you're 6 or 7 years old or 10 years old or 15 or whatever. But it's a teaching, but it's a learning process. It sucks to lose the family dog, but it teaches you to cope and learn how to handle your feelings and your emotions. It's like, it's important that stuff happens, It's important that stuff happens. But these are the things that we talk about. Do we get a dog for the kids? Are we missing that kind of thing? All that kind of stuff, I like Stacy here. Legends don't ever die, just like Jesus Christ. There you go. You know what I like to say, Stacy? Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Follow your heart, kid. And I learned that at the Sandlot. Thank you. Is that the second Sandlot reference we've had this episode? What is happening? Why is there so much Sandlot coming up on this show all of a sudden? We're really going to get a bizarre reputation. People are going to be, all they talk about is Cucks and Sandlot. I don't get this guy. I don't understand what he's doing. Show doesn't make any sense. Cucklot. Elena says amen. Amen. Thank you. I can pull out the Sandlot quotes just like, oh, were you responding to Stacy or me? That's unclear at this point. Jokes. All right. Paul McCartney's Revenge. I got to tell you, I didn't see this coming, but I like it. I like it. Paul McCartney. So Paul McCartney's drummer in Wings just came out with a book. It's like a tell-all book kind of a thing. And in there, Denny Sewell, and in there, Denny tells the story of a time that a music journalist came and saw Wings, came to see Wings perform, but he didn't actually see the concert. He came and he like hung out with them beforehand, saw how they were living, saw, I guess, like the tour bus and like all this kind of things. And then he pieced out before the show actually started. And then he wrote like a scathing review of how horrible Wings is, or Wings are. And so Paul McCartney sees this, and Stella McCartney was a baby at the time. He was with Linda, and babies do as babies do in diapers. And Paul took it and said, okay, wrapped it up, mailed it to the journalist and said, here you go. Paul McCartney literally preceded Billy Madison. I mean, he didn't put it in a bag and light it on fire, but still, he literally was like, okay, if you're going to dump on my band, guess what you got coming your way? Compliments of the McCartneys. Now, Denny says that that is 100% true. The story came out today. Was it this morning or maybe late last night? Every outlet obviously reached out to Paul McCartney. He has not responded. Nor do I expect him to respond to something like that. But if you're a journalist and you have a chance to interview Paul McCartney, you've got to keep that question in your back pocket. You have got to be like, hey, did you ever send not to bring Green Day into this, but did you ever send Dookie over to a music critic? Because that's what Denny's is saying. Denny is saying you did it. Yeah. Denny is saying this is 100% true. And I got to tell you, I like it. I respect it. Now, listen, it was a younger Paul McCartney. He had left the Beatles. He's trying to get Wings off the ground. He's filled with piss and vinegar. You know, I don't think old vegetarian Paul McCartney today would do that kind of thing, but it would be gangster if he did. It would be really cool if he was still like, dear Joe Rogan, I heard you said something not so nice about me the other day. Please see enclosed package. It'd be nice if he was if this was like his thing, you know, if we go to find out like, oh my God, like all Paul McCartney's been doing is sending, you know, little smelly packages to people for the last 40 years. I think that would be amazing. I'm a big fan of that. I really hope that is true. But if it was just only this one time that he did it, I will say amazing. God bless, you know. Amen, to quote my friend Elena here, or whatever. Sorry, I thought that was the one that said amen. Nope, this one. Okay. All right, Elena, you didn't have to answer me and say it was for Stacy and not me. We all knew. We all knew. I was joking. You don't have to point it out. You don't have to point it out. Let it cuck. Nice. Poopy emoji on the run. What was the one that the paper? Hold on, because I looked at this in like 4 stories. It might have been, I don't know if it was Yahoo or Consequence of Sound. No, hold on. It was the New York Post. Wait, the New York Post had a great pun. So stupid. And your turd can sing. Not bad. It's not bad. You know, it's not bad. I mean, they could have went in a lot of different directions, and they went within your turd can sing. It's okay. It's okay. Bridge Over Cuckold Water. I'm going to nominate that one. That's a good one. Paul even liked it. Paul put and Robin Echo. Or Paul liked Robin's thing. What did Paul? My cuck does it good to me. My cuck does it good to me. Why am I being slow right now? What is that? It's a lyric. Day cucker, yeah, that's a good one. Nominated. Twist and cuck. All right. See, we've lost control. She cucks you, yeah. I don't know. I kind of like Day Cucker. There's something about that one. Thanks for getting the joke, Elaine. I appreciate that. Yeah, so Paul McCartney sent poop through the mail to a music critic. I mean, can life get any better? I don't even know. I want to hold your cock. It's pretty good. Only my cock holds the key. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I just think about every time like a parent was like, the music you listen today is such crap. We had the Beatles. Those were good, upstanding boys. Like, maybe not so much. Suddenly, some of the things that these new, trash in a hotel room doesn't seem so bad. At least they weren't sending fecal matter through the. I'm not even sure. I think that's illegal. I don't know all the post office rules, but I think that might be very illegal, very much so illegal. JD Vance and Erica Kirk. I haven't talked about this because I feel like it's just much ado about nothing. And I still feel that way. But it is it is not going away. I guess they were at, it wasn't the funeral. It was like some other event that they like recently did. And so they hugged each other on stage. She brought him out or he brought her out. I don't even know what it was. But they went to go like hug each other or embrace each other. And like he touched her on the hip, and she like did the whole head cradle, like was back in his hair, cradling. Like, yes, even Merck says it was sus. Yeah, I mean, I saw it the day it happened, and I was like, weird. But you're grieving. You're both grieving. It's a tragedy. Weird things happen. It will not go away. And it's at the point now, Ellen or Cuckbee sits on the right of the bed just watching her man with another chick. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I like Ellen or Cuckbee. I think that's leading right now. Ellen or Cuckbee in the chair. There's other people there. I don't know if he gave us, maybe at the end of the episode, we'll have a little writing session and see if we can't turn the great Eleanor Rigby into an entire cuck parody. Oh, I like this from Mercury. Oh, I like this a lot. Tell me Cuddles wouldn't knock a woman out if someone would hold your head like that. Cuddles would knock a bitch out. Yes. And I don't like to use that language, but I'm doing it now because she would. That is exactly how she would say it. She would be like, I would knock him out. She would do it. Yeah. She wouldn't play. Cuddles don't play. No, Cuddles does not play. It was an inappropriate, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? You're grieving. It happens sometimes. The reason why I'm bringing it up now is because people are obsessed with it, and they really think that JD Vance is going to divorce his wife for Erica Kirk. I mean, it's out of control, the level of conspiracy theory that we are at this point. And listen to me. I'm a podcast host. Okay. Nothing would make me happier than to learn that JD Vance was treating Erica Kirk like a brand new couch out of Raymore and Flanagan. Okay. That would make me so happy. Admit it. Just admit it. Don't be highfalutin and moral in this moment. Be your normal tabloidy loving self. If the vice president of the United States was having an affair on his wife with the recent widow of a conservative leader, that would be a scandal of epic proportions that people would never stop talking about for years to come. It would be on the level of Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. It would have this same level of heat and staying power. We're all wishing and hoping it's true. I just don't think it is. I think he loves that Usha. And I don't think, and listen, I get it. Widows get emotional, right? People come over. Can you fix the light in the hallway? Next thing you know, the bed's squeaking. I get it. I've seen movies. I know how it all works. I don't think so. I don't. And I'd like to think the vice president is busy, I just think everybody is hoping for something that's salacious. And that's why these rumors, because every day, if you just Google JD Vance, it used to be like, oh, keep him away from Ashley Furniture. And now it's more like, here's another time that they were looking at each other, or they glanced, or here was the last time they embraced one another, I don't know. I don't think there's anything there. And yet people keep persisting on this rumor. And I'm not sure why, other than we want it to be true. Because again, it would be scandalous. I would venture to say it would be slightly more scandalous than Clinton Lewinsky. It doesn't get more scandalous than the president catching a hoo-hoo in the White House. That's big from an intern. That's huge. That scandal got all the heat that it deserved. You know what I'm saying? It was appropriate. It was all appropriate. And people are still talking about it, making jokes about it to this day. And I get it. But there's something about them being conservative and ultra Christian, I think, that makes it even worse. Like, Clinton was always kind of a shady piece of garbage going into it, right? Like, we were all a little surprised maybe, but nobody was like really that surprised. When you get those uber religious people involved in a scandal like this, then I feel it's like it gets a little bigger. Even though we're going from prez to vice prez, I feel like it's a big deal. Feel like there's something there. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a little messed up. I don't know. I'll work a little harder this week with the therapist. But to answer your question, Cuddles would not play. She would not. That would not be good. That would not be good. And it's funny because I was just reading an article today about how this isn't going away. And the caption was, okay, you see the stills of them and it's not a great look. But then when you watch the video, you expect to be like, oh, it's vindicated. Like it's obviously ridiculous. And then most people that are watching the video that the stills are from of the embrace, the behind the thing and the hip, they're like, oh no, it's worse. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't clear it up at all. Because a still image, you can freeze at that exact moment where it looks like something and you're like, oh, this puts my story in a better, like this is great. And then you look at it, you look at it from a macro standpoint, and it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But you look at it on the video and you're like, no, it's still it's a little strange. It's a little strange. Does JD Vance automatically qualify as a cuck because when he was with the couch, there was a chair in the room anyway? Like if you are having relations with furniture and another chair is there, does that automatically become a cuck chair, even though an actual person isn't sitting in it? Can we ponder that for a little bit? That may be the most philosophical thing I have ever said. And when people watch this on the clips who don't know this podcast, they are really going to feel sorry for me. They're really going to be like, what happened to this person? Yet I feel like it's going to resonate with the AOA holes. I feel like every AOA hole is going to get that. Thanks, Merc. Most definitely. Thanks. Mercury connected to that immediately. Like, because there's no room in a house that has just a couch and not a chair there. There's always a little chair. It's the couch and a chair. That chair has automatically become a cuck chair as soon as JD enters the room and gets gets comfortable with that couch. Okay. I don't think we should try and top that. I think we could really, put that one to bed. The only other one that I wanted to talk about thing is Hollywood is dying. Hollywood is dying. I almost talked about this a couple of weeks ago because I find it fascinating that the guy, what's his name? Jared Leto. People were calling Jared Leto like box office kryptonite because Tron came out and it tanked. And then I guess Jared Leto was also in I had it because I remember it used to scare my kid. We never saw the movie, but Morbius, maybe I think that was a Marvel movie. He was in like the only Marvel movie that just completely tanked. And so people were like starting to accuse Jared Leto of being like just box office kryptonite, box office cucktonite, if you ask the AOA holds. But we've been on like a rough streak here of like just one box office letdown after the next. The Smashing Machine starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was a bust that everybody thought was going to be a huge thing. He's getting a lot of praise for his performance. People are talking about, Academy Award. Austin Butler and Jennifer Lopez's musical Kiss of the Spider Woman tanked. Jennifer Lopez's musical Kiss of the Spider Woman, Caught Stealing with Austin Butler, tanked. The Springsteen movie, which I'm so excited to see, supposedly that did not do very well, which is ironic because Jeremy Allen White is kind of the guy of the moment right now with the heat behind the bear. Springsteen can go and sell out an arena anywhere in the world, not even an arena, a football stadium anywhere in the world. So you'd think his audience alone would have carried that box office to huge numbers. And it didn't. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if this is the economy and people just don't have $18 to throw away on a movie ticket anymore. I mean, $18 sounds ridiculous, but that's what we're paying in New York, I think. And more so once, like, if the chair starts moving, then forget it. I'm paying $25 a ticket. And it's not just I'm going by myself. I'm bringing the kids, the wife. And the next thing I know, it's $100. Then it's another $40 in like, it pains me to buy candy at a movie. I used to love doing it. Now it's just like, it feels weird just spending $8 on a candy that I know costs, 30 cents. Like, I used to tell myself, even up to a year or so ago, I used to tell myself, well, you're supporting the movie theaters and the business, and, you like coming to the movies, you like it, But now it's like, I don't know, feels weird, weird doing it. So I don't know if it's the economy or if it's just streaming and everybody's just like, because again, Carlos and I were going over some stuff and I was just like, all right, well, we pay for Disney, we pay for Hulu, we pay for HBO Max, we pay for Netflix, we pay for Spotify, we pay for, like, we just getting $9.99 to death. When you turn it all around, like what we're paying for an entertainment in a month is like pretty staggering. And then we found out we were paying for Paramount through Amazon, which we didn't even know it was happening. I didn't even know that was happening. I just went like through the roof. Like, I kept getting Paramount stuff on Amazon, and we had done the free trial, and I'm fairly sure we canceled it. And then we go to find out all these months later, they're still hitting us for like $7.99 a month. And it was like hidden in our Amazon chart. Like, you go to Amazon and you could look at all your orders. And then I just learned that there's another tab for digital orders. And I go there and I go to find all these. It was a complete accident. Actually, I wasn't even the one who discovered it, but I go and find all of these things that we're paying for, a golf course thing, a grocery thing, all this stuff that we do not use. I was like, we canceled. And by the way, you know how you can tell somebody's scamming you when they don't argue with you when you're canceling? Because like we went into all these things and like, do you want to cancel this? Do you want to like refute that? And we did. And it was giving us all our money back. Because it's like, this is like, I mean, I guess I guess they're going to get sued or something if they, they're just like hooking people onto this stuff. Are the movies just not, I don't know. Like, I want to see the Springsteen movie. If it wasn't for the fact that I had family in and, the kids and, I'm in the middle of cheerleading season with the daughter and all that stuff. If it wasn't for all those things, I would have been at the Springsteen movie. But because we were just like, you don't get it that weekend and then you miss it the next weekend. And then it's like, by the time the third weekend runs around, you're kind of like, you know what? I'll just wait another couple of weeks and I'll watch it on whatever streaming service it hits. I'm paying for 7 of them. It's got to be on one of them. And then, of course, it goes to friggin' Peacock. And I'm like, the one streaming service I'm not paying for. But there's just no, like, I mean, Hollywood, they're literally like, oh, we're dead except for Avatar. Like, Avatar will come out and make $1 billion, and then, that'll be it until the next. I mean, I don't think we've heard about a box office success since Barbenheimer. And that's going on, what, like 2 years now? We Can Cuck It Out was good. Cuckbird singing in the dead of night. Cuck together right now on a chair. Boom, 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 boom. Stop it. We're going to get sued. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Hollywood. I don't know if they're just bad movies, if it's a shitty economy, if it's just the streaming and what people are paying for those kinds of things. But nothing is getting people to movie theaters anymore. Even the Marvel movies that have been coming out have not been making their budget. Judd Apatow said something interesting the other day. He said the reason why there's no more comedies in movie theaters the way there was when he was making movies, 40-Year-Old Virgin and Wedding Crashers. And, you just look at all that, like that time was kind of like a golden era in comedy in theaters, is because of DVD sales. The studios were like, we can put 15, 20, 30 million dollars into a movie, a comedy, and make 30 million in the theaters and then make another 15, 25 million on DVD, and it's worth it. They could take a chance on a movie thinking, even if we break even at the box office, we can still make a profit in the DVD market. And now that there's no more DVD market, people are like, well, we don't have that extra $20, $30 million cushion on the back end. So forget it. We're not going to make this movie. And that's what Judd Apatow says is the reason why we don't have comedies in big, broad comedies anymore. I mean, I've said this for a little while. When was the last time you saw a hilarious comedy? Because I feel like the stuff that they push directly to Netflix and Hulu and all those straight to the streaming service comedies are terrible. And he even said there's no money in it anymore. So all the good writers are going to the streaming services, but they're going to the shows where they could be like staff writers and have a consistent income versus trying to sell a comedy script that nobody's going to make. It was a really, really interesting take from Judd Apatow on why the comedies suddenly died basically after he, stopped making them. And maybe that was the reason why he stopped making them. I don't know. Robin wants to know if I have HBO. Yes, I think I do. I mean, I had Max and I had HBO Go and I had HBO Max. I believe I have HBO now, but I don't know if it changed names in the last 45 minutes. It's entirely possible. I might be paying for a Max HBO Go. I don't know. I don't know how it works, But yes, I have HBO. I haven't been able to cancel HBO. Because Cuddles and I literally watch The Sopranos like once or twice a year. We will go through the entire series like drug addicts, like we have a problem. And I just can't get rid of it. I can't get rid of it. I felt the same way about Netflix and The Office, and then I almost paid for Peacock just to have The Office all the time. But if it wasn't for the fact that like I still have the E channel and Comedy Central, and all they do is play The Office. So like when I need The Office, I can go to my regular streaming, which is Fubo, by the way. I don't pay for cable anymore. I pay for Fubo, which gives me all the cable channels on streaming. But I can watch The Office anytime I want. So that's why I don't pay for it. But I felt that like it's like my security blanket. HBO is my security blanket. I like to run through Curb sometimes. I like to run through Entourage, Sopranos. There's a few shows where I'll just go episode 1 to series finale, you know, every day, every night with Cuddles while we're just hanging out. Like we like to put something on, you know, so we don't have to like talk to each other. I'm worried if I keep talking to her, she's just eventually going to get tired of it. So if I feel like I put on a show, you know, she'll be like, this is not that bad. I can live with this guy for the rest of my life. Oh, let me say hi to Jason on TikTok. Does that work, Jason? Do you feel special that I said hello to you now? I don't know. We're experimenting with the TikTok thing. We usually only are on YouTube and Facebook Live, but we're trying TikTok out. And I don't know if it's really working out. Basically, because I don't like any of the angle over here. I don't like what's happening. I don't know what happened to the Chair Company new series. Oh, is it good? Okay, Robin, I want a full opinion because all I see is commercials for this Chair Company thing. And that guy, I know that guy is really funny. I've laughed at his stuff online, but I know he has another show and I've never seen it. And I know I'm probably letting a lot of people down right now because I don't know his name and I don't know what the show is. I've seen clips of him like screaming things online, and I've seen the fast food thing that he did. He's just a weird guy. And I know J Sab's brother like loves him and brings him up all the time. And I know he has a show and I probably should know more, but I apologize. I don't. You saying it's worth watching? Did you get through the whole series and love it? Is it coming out like one episode at a time and you like it? Because when my parents were in and visiting, we were like, again, looking for a show so we didn't have to talk to each other. And my parents had just watched the golf one on Apple with Owen Wilson. Sorry, I couldn't think. I apologize. That was uncalled for. Owen Wilson doesn't deserve that. But I couldn't remember it until I did this. Whatever that golf one is with Owen Wilson and Mark Maron, we started watching that because they had watched it. And they're like, it's really good. And we watched one episode and I watched 2 episodes. And then my father, while I was taking the kids to whatever one day, like watched all the remaining episodes. And he's like, I finished it. It stunk. I was like, I can't be mad at you. I'm like upset that you watched it without me. I thought this was going to be our little thing on this visit. But if you said it was horrible, then thanks for saving me. But we almost watched the Chair Company instead of watching the golf thing. All right, so this Sunday will be episode 5. So I guess it's coming out one thing at a time. All right. Tim Robinson is the lead. Now, wasn't that the guy who shot Charlie Kirk? Are you messing with me right now? Because I can't trust anybody. Not Kash Patel, not the DOJ. I trust Candace Owens, and she thinks that it wasn't. Oh, I think that was Tyler Robinson. Never mind. Take it back. I'm just confusing things. Tim Robinson. Yeah, he's funny, right? Didn't he have a big show somewhere else that was like huge, that like made him like a cult favorite or something like that? How did nobody look at this? Look at Faith getting to this first. The Chair Company, we started talking about this at least 3 or 4 minutes ago. And it took Faith that long just to get to that. That's pretty good. We're going to nominate that one right there because Rhonda, you like Chad Powers? I like that guy. It's the makeup that he wears to be, and another like, oh, I'm pretending to be. I don't know. You like it? I'm a little reluctant to get into that one. Rhonda also thinks the chair company is interesting to watch. Okay. All right. That's good to know. But again, when was the last time you guys saw a hilarious movie on streaming? I mean, I feel like maybe Happy Gilmore 2, but I'll be honest with you. I didn't, it was good. I had a good time. It was fun, but it wasn't like I haven't put it on since. It wasn't like, oh my God, I got to watch that again. It was so hilarious. Like, it was nice to see Happy Gilmore progressing in life, but yeah, I hope he makes a third, but I don't know. And you should buy all domains with Cuck Chair and copyright the Cuck Chair company. Yeah, I'll do that. I made enough poor financial decisions. I'm not allowed. I'm not in charge of the finances anymore. Cuddles removed that possibility from me years ago. Yeah. No. You should see my long list of poor investments. They're all similarly on par with what you just said right there. They're not too far off from that, which is why I'm still working for a living. This is why I'm still eking out podcast episodes on a daily basis, Anyway, Friday show, I think the great Frankie C will return, which is always a good time because he brings the great Erin C, who is really and truly great. Don't forget to pick up her book, Oval. Link in the description below for that. We had so many wonderful choices. We had so many wonderful choices for comment of the episode. I am going to review them now. Let me see here. This was a comment episode for sure. I did love Day Cucker. But I think we are going to go with, and forgive me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like this is 3 or 4 in a row, or 3 and 4 out of 5 for Paul, for Eleanor Cuckby. Top notch. The best. Eleanor Cuckby gets comment of the episode. Paul, you got to keep track of this because I can. I'm not responsible enough. But I feel like that's your third comment of the episode championship right here. That's huge. Congratulations, my friend. That's a big deal. That is a big, big deal. Love you all. Catch you guys all on Friday.
Show me potato salad.
Enjoy those Thirsty Thursdays.
Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.